Holy guacamole, guys. Wow, this is not a drill. Lust is coming back. She's coming to the game in less than a week. So yesterday morning, I returned back to New York for a couple weeks, got a couple weddings, and I started hearing all the chatter, getting a lot of DMs, a lot of messages discussing Lust's return. I saw that Rokanchi made an announcement, Alarl, Destin made a video, started feeling pretty real, but with how fickle everything has been lately, how much everything has been changing, I really wanted to hold up. So if you look, I made a Discord announcement over here where basically I said the video today would either be how the 15x actually works, why it isn't really 15x, or arena cheating, the stuff that Jay and Joe had covered. I mentioned then Lust down here, but basically said as exciting as it is, until this is 100% confirmed, I was not going to make a video on it. Well guys, hot dang, it is 100% confirmed and it's coming on my birthday. Busting for Lust on my birthday this Thursday, September the 19th until Monday, September the 23rd. Truly crazy stuff. There is a lot to break down. There is a lot we should be excited for. Actually, the event itself probably has me personally more excited than the banner specifically. But wow, this is going to be a near must-pull event for well over 90% of players. It's going to be a huge celebration in the game. We didn't see it coming. I'm so happy I was wrong. This is awesome. Let's get into it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Alrighty folks, so let's get into what actually happened here. Because if you remember, I made a video only 5 days ago basically addressing the question, where the heck is Lust? The gist of it was, with the new mini update we got last week, presumably we were getting a bunch of new heroes, a bunch of new banners, including a new 250 exclusive banner for Kagiri, and that just pushed everything that a Lust rerun seemed nowhere near in the future, did not seem in the cards. But then you'll see, only 3 days ago I had this video, banner news, very bad, and it was essentially saying that update did not push through a single new banner. It didn't push through any new heroes except for Maw, but he's like an OG Forerunner hero, so that wasn't surprising. And because of that, essentially everything was flummoxed, up in the air. We didn't know what was going on. You can go back and watch these videos if you like. The short version is, once this happened, you know, everything previously we thought and were predicting and the news we were getting from the Leak Boys, from Rokanchi and Panther and the whole crew, we couldn't count on it being solid anymore because things were just moving around. And it seems like these update delays really had been delaying everything new that could come to the game in a pretty big way. If you actually go through it, there were a couple viewers in the comments of this video who were essentially saying, now that Kagiri is delayed as well as all these other heroes, maybe there's an opening for another 250 rerun. Could it be Lust? And they were right, it was. Also, people on this where I kind of said that this current event isn't like a terrible thing, it's better than nothing, but it's like aggressively meh. People were saying, what if they're gonna run the Lust event now? A couple people commented that as well. Well, you people were right. You guys were just dead on. Truly you were. I'm happy to have been wrong this time because I know a lot of you guys are feverish for Lust. You were lusting for Lust. You're truly and utterly ready to bust. She's coming. She's coming. It was last Valentine's Day banner and the event week where Lust and Arrogance kicked the whole thing off starting on a Wednesday. That was Valentine's Day. Now they're kicking it off on another huge national holiday, international holiday, frankly, my birthday. This time it's a Thursday. And you can see she's guaranteed within 250 summons. This meaning if you don't hit her before 250, at 250, it's guaranteed to be her. Once you do hit her, whether it's before 250 or at 250, this just becomes a normal 15x banner for Arrogance and Lust. But quite frankly, it's hard calling that a normal banner because these are like two S+ heroes and they are absolutely two pivotal key, like the cornerstone units to all the meta Nightmare faction comps. Crazy stuff. And on top of that, we are getting Searing Obsession, which was her event, which was the Valentine's Day Lust event. It came with a very cool chat bubble, which I didn't get at the time, so I'm excited to get it, but no one actually cares about that. But then Lust's exclusive, as well as a full shop, kind of like the current Redeem shop, with nice goodies. TBD how good they're going to be. I would say this is the lower end of what we could expect. You know, I think this was 5 rare summoning crystals. I think it was 1 legendary skill crystal, 1 epic, a handful of dust, 1 5-star psychic power, some 5-star fodder, a border, and avatar. I would think they'll rerun the avatar, the border that came with Lust. You get her exclusive weapon, which is pretty special, especially since unlike Salazar in this current flame scale lizard event, he's not guaranteed, he's just on rate up. Lust, if you've been saving, she is guaranteed, and now you're guaranteed to get her along with her exclusive, which is really her second best in slot, but once you get promotions into it, it is definitively her best. I've got it at promo 1, would not mind snagging another copy, so that's pretty sweet stuff. I would expect it to be a very solid redeem shop. And then what maybe I'm most excited about is when we got Searing Obsession last February, it came with actual content. And personally, let me know what you guys think. I do not mind a full rerun on this event. Essentially, you were fighting a boss who was at Praetus. It was the Praetus boss. It was a special event stage boss thing. And it was like roguelike. You were picking up buffs as you went along, improving the way you could debuff the boss, and you could go for really high scores. I will say the one drawback from that is the numbers you had to hit to get max rewards were like super duper low. I could max it out with like just my Calypso and Cetrum because there was a shield component involved. But even still, there was a leaderboard, there was content. It was fighting to do in the game. It was actual gameplay. It was not just like completionist stuff like this Engraver's Exhibition, which is essentially a drawn out daily login, or the Scroll Exploration, which was essentially like a drawn out daily login. It was actually fresh content. I guess at this point, for many of us, it won't be fresh because they ran it before. But for me, this was one of my favorite like holiday events or theme events where we got a specific boss. I know a lot of other people felt that way. And for a lot of you new players, this will be brand spanking new. I would guess almost certainly they'll rerun the whole event. So I think that's really nice. We can hope that maybe the scores are higher and the rewards are higher, so there's more for a lot of people to push for. Certainly we can hope that the redeem shop will be a bit stronger, but at the very least, we should be getting like a new boss we get to play around with for a handful of days, and we should be getting some baseline decent goodies, which is it's a lot better than nothing. It should actually be an engaging event. I'm pretty excited about it, as you can tell. And then this banner is going to be very, very exciting. Now, there are 2 other leaked banners. I'm going to wait till they're confirmed, so that will probably be a video either tomorrow or Tuesday. You can always go check out Destin's Discord if you want information on that right away. They look to be fantastic. It is rumored there'll be a rerun of Silas and Virna, and indeed that was the Raid Up weekend banner the same week as Valentine's Day as the Lust Arrogance banner. And on top of that, they are saying there could be an Ancient 15x rerun for Yovar and Carnelian, who is Yovar, one of my absolute favorite lords in the game. Very, very short top of my list. Maybe my most wanted lord. It's probably him or Valderon still to this day. And then for me personally, and I think a lot of you, Carnelian is my most wanted Ancient exclusive non-lord hero. So I have Ardia, thankfully. She should be number 1 for anyone that doesn't have her. But after that, Carnelian is crazy for pushing late and especially end game content. I'll tell you guys, when that Yovar Carnelian banner originally came around, I pulled like 143 Ancients. It's the most I've ever done. It won't be the same for me this time. However, I'll have a little handful, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to pity. So 31. Who knows what could happen? I'm very curious if you guys are excited for all of that, so definitely let me know in the comments. To conclude, I want to touch with a little bit of bad news, and then we'll bring it home with the really good news. The bit of bad news is this September 20th, in the original prediction, which all things point towards the fact that that prediction from Rokanchi was going to be true, that we get the Beelzebub, Lucius, Razak 2x by 15x this coming weekend, September 20th, alongside a 250 guaranteed exclusive for Kagiri. So now, the same weekend they had planned that limited, they're replacing it with Lust and Arrogance. For a lot of people, not me, if I'm being honest, I really want Kagiri and I want to go crazy on that banner. More on that in future videos. I'll just tell you right now, I don't think I'm going to go that crazy on this Lust banner, me personally, but I'm in a unique situation where I already have her. You kind of get it. But the fact that they are rerunning the Lust Arrogance banner, our favorite exclusive banner ever, our favorite limited banner ever, the weekend they had planned to do an entirely different one, right? We're getting a whole different event. We're getting Lust's event when we were supposed to get a Kagiri event, and we're getting the Silas Virna, very, very exciting. Well, it seems like we're getting Silas and Virna. The same weekend, we were supposed to get a very powerful 2x by 15x Lucius, Razak, and of course, Bubba, Beelzebub, whatever you want to call him. There's a bit of bad news there, right? It speaks to the fact that they don't know when they're going to be able to get an update through. I think I at least want to address that. We can all rejoice and celebrate Lust coming home again, you know, making her grand return. It's very cool. She's a very exciting hero. We are going to have a bunch of streams. It will be a huge bus-filled event, right? Busting left, right, and center. That being said, there's an obvious... This is obviously cueing us in on something, right? This is obviously telegraphing a message, whether they wanted to or not. And that message is, dang, these updates might take an actually really long time. Because you'd think It's not like they do the Lust event and then 2 weeks later they'll do Kagiri. Of course it's possible, right? And people will be drained pretty dry, no pun intended, after Lust arrives in the game. So maybe they'll be like, all right, good opportunity to run Kagiri. This is all contingent upon the fact that they're able to get an update through. But I would guess most likely it's them saying, what's the most fun old thing we could bring back that can make us the most money in place of Kagiri and Bubba and Lucius and so on, right? So it's like an amazing placeholder, but we should acknowledge it's a placeholder nonetheless, and it means these updates for new things might not be a couple more weeks. It could be that worst case scenario where it's a lot longer than that. Let's focus on the positives to wrap this thing up. This should be a very fun event. It should be a very strong event shop, even if it's a straight up rerun. I'm remembering it as stronger than this, so that's pretty fun. It should come with a boss, a Praetus boss, a roguelike experience some of you might not have experienced before in the game. Should be really strong. This banner definitively is super duper powerful. If you have the 250 for Lust, on your way to 250, you'll hit at least one legendary, if not two. Maybe you'll pick up an Arrogance along the way, maybe a dupe you really need for an Awakening, or more importantly, your very first copy if you don't have it. And then everyone that's saved, everyone that's repaired or wants to spend a little bit will be able to get their Lust. It's going to be a pretty fun time. I was already going to do a birthday stream, so it's going to be a really good birthday stream now. That's pretty darn good. Guys, get pumped. I mean, get pumped. You know, when we can't get new content, this is the best old content we could possibly get. I'm happy I was wrong. I'm happy a bunch of us were wrong. This is the right way to be wrong. That's what I would say. And it feels pretty good. So get ready to bust, guys. Give me a bust for Lust in the comments if you made it this far in the video. I've been Fastidious. I'm excited. I'm going to go watch the Jets absolutely pound the we'll bleep that out in post. Pound the out of the Tennessee Titans. It's going to be a beautiful thing. Share with your mother. See you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.